from the Lakeside Newsroom of the Henrico Citizen, your hometown news source since 2001. This is the Henrico News Minute with publisher Tom Lapis.
One teen killed and another injured in two separate shootings in Henrico this weekend. We'll have details. And a developer pulls its plans for a community on a battlefield in Varina. We'll tell you more in today's Henrico News Minute for Monday, April 11th, 2022. It's brought to you today by the Barnes & Deal Law Firm.
And now for the news.
A candlelight vigil is planned tonight at Highland Springs High School beginning at 6 o'clock to remember the life of Jaheim Dickerson, a 16-year-old student and basketball player at the school who was shot and killed over the weekend. Attendees are asked to bring a candle and wear white or gold. Dickerson died after being shot in the 1900 block of Glen Wilton Drive just after midnight on Saturday. That's just off Creighton Road near North Laburnum Avenue. Anyone with information about the homicide should call Detective Enser with Henrico Police at 501-5794 or Crime Stoppers at 501-5000. And another juvenile was injured during a shooting in the West End. This happened Sunday at about 2:10 in the afternoon on Fond du Lac Road in Western Henrico, not far from Freeman High School. Police arrived to find a juvenile with non-life-threatening injuries. He was taken to the hospital for treatment. Anyone in the area who has security footage that may have captured what happened is asked to contact Crime Stoppers. Again, that number is 780-1000. Following months of opposition, a Texas-based developer has apparently abandoned plans to build a 650-home development at a Civil War battlefield site in Varina. That potentially clears the way for preservationists to purchase and protect the land. Homebuilder D.R. Horton Incorporated has withdrawn its contract to buy the 420-acre site at the northwest intersection of Yaley Mill and Longbridge Roads from the estate of Bob Attic, a late developer who originally planned to build the Ridings at Warner Farm there. That's according to several sources with knowledge of the project. Horton had hoped to build its own version of the development to be known simply as the Ridings, but opponents from a number of preservation groups and the adjacent Camp Holly Springs argued that the development would stain the land's history and potentially damage the aquifer that supplies water to the springs, which have served as a water source there for generations and currently supply water for Diamond Springs. Officials from D.R. Horton could not immediately be reached for comment. About 200 acres of the site were witness to the Civil War's Battle of Newmarket Heights, which is viewed as the most significant battle involving black troops in the entire war. 14 U.S. colored troops earned the Medal of Honor for their bravery during the battle. Only 2 other black soldiers earned the medal during the entirety of the war. Preservationists want the land saved and turned into a historical site to commemorate its significance. Attic Properties bought land at the site in 2005 and earned approval for the development, but then a downturn in the economy stalled its plans. The land was rezoned again in 2012, with construction slated to begin the following year, but that never happened. Bob Attic died of cancer in May of 2014, and the development never took shape. Then Horton entered the scene with updated plans last year, initially seeking another rezoning that would have allowed an additional 120 homes there. The builder ultimately withdrew those plans in December and was planning to proceed with the originally approved plans. I've got much more on this story right now on henricocitizen.com. Governor Glenn Youngkin signed several education bills into law last week, including one controversial one that will involve red flagging a significant portion of the classical literary canon. A bill introduced by Henrico State Senator Shaban Donovan requires local school boards to implement policies to require notifying parents of any sexually explicit content used in class, also to give them the opportunity to review that content and provide alternate materials if requested. Democrats called Donovan's bill a censorship bill, but it passed both the House and Senate and was signed by Youngkin. We've got a full roundup of the other education bills signed by Youngkin right now on henricocitizen.com by clicking News and then Education. When Rusty Taco opened its Short Pump location February 7th, Jeff Saunders was there to try it out. And then he came back the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and a lot of additional days after that. By April 3rd, Saunders had eaten at the restaurant for 56 days in a row. Saunders is a baseball coach. He met his goal of eating at the restaurant for the same number of consecutive days as Baseball Hall of Famer Joe DiMaggio's record hitting streak lasted. His dedication was driven by more than just a love of tacos, however. He wanted also to bring awareness and support to Finnegan's Challenge. It's a nonprofit that supports children born with birth defects and their families. The restaurant celebrated by donating 20% of its sales on Saturday to Finnegan's Challenge. It's located in the Short Pump Crossing Shopping Center at 11525 West Broad Street. Today's Henrico News Minute has been brought to you by Barnes & Deal. Barnes & Deal has emerged as a highly respected family law firm over the past 3 decades with the resources, skills, and experience necessary to handle high-asset divorces and other complex family law matters across Virginia. To learn more, visit barnesfamilylaw.com, that's B-A-R-N-E-S, or call 796-1000.